Hello everybody, Simon with Quigg Coins and Bullion here, and today I'm going to be talking about 5 types of coins that I, as a dealer and a collector, can see going up in value long term. So I'm talking not today or tomorrow, but in 1 to 5 to 10 years, just kind of generally appreciating over time as demand slowly goes up and as certain things become harder to get. I'm not a financial advisor, but this is just what I do in my collecting and what I like to hold on to long term. So I will start at the top here. The first thing is pre-33 gold. So I actually don't have any in stock. This is the closest thing. This is a sesquicentennial commemorative $2.50 piece. But basically, so my thought process is with pre-33, with gold being so high, premiums have historically been also very high with pre-33, but now on 5, 10s, and 20s, the gold value is basically what the coins are selling for, if not just a very small premium, talking a few percentage at most. So this is good for you as a collector or someone to hold long term, is to be purchasing these gold coins. You can buy nice MS63, MS64 coins for basically spot value. I know because I can order them wholesale for that price, and realistically, this is going to be a really, really good long-term play, because if gold continues to go up, then the value of the coin will increase, and if it stays the same or goes down slightly, I do see premiums returning the longer time goes. Just because, realistically, there are not too many of these coins in nice condition left. They're being recycled, melted down right now, and they have been forever. They're not making them anymore. So I do see that as a positive long-term play for the collector or the long-term holder for that kind of thing. Another added benefit is if you're going to spend a little bit of extra money, we'll say around $100 or $200 over spot, maybe twice that for 5s or 10s, you can actually get some key date coins or buy some older gold, classic head specifically. So I know classic head gold, 5s have always been in that $800 to $900 range, and they're still right about that range now. Maybe $9 or $950 or something like that, where the gold value is around $800 and some odd dollars. For Carson City gold or other low mintage gold, I would personally stick with Carson City just because it's very iconic. But for around $100 or $200 over spot, you can basically get a nice piece of Carson City gold, and that used to be very expensive. It was probably about the same price it is now as it is 10 years ago. So that would be a very positive thing for someone to pick up there. The next few things here, I have just a few varieties. I think long term you want to stick with key dates. So I'm saying key dates, not semi-key dates, not necessarily, because there are key dates in certain series, very low mintages. The coins are expensive, but the demand just isn't there. So you want to have a nice cross section of coins in high demand, as well as basically popularity, as well as value, right? So I have this 1896S. This is about the 3rd toughest coin in the Barber quarter series, and this is about 110,000 mintage. We have and then I have 3 Carson City dollars as well. We've got the 78, the 81, and the 85. And 82s, 3s, and 4s are all very common, and those can be easily had for around $300 to $400 in nice mint state condition. But these ones in particular, these dates, these have, I felt, been in way higher demand. They're lower mintage than the 2s, 3s, and 4s, and always command a good premium above kind of the rest of the coins in the Morgan Dollar series. A few other key dates that I would recommend potentially getting is an 09S VDB, a 77 Indian, a 16D dime, 16 Philly quarter, any number of the Barber series, so some of the halves, quarters, and dimes. Again, not looking at the semi-key stuff, the stuff that's in, $100 to $150 in low grades. I'm saying, $500 plus in low grades there. Even going a step further there, looking at some of the better date classic commemorative halves. So I'm talking your Hawaii or Spanish trails. Some of those coins, the classic commemoratives have very low mintages, under 10,000 or just around 10,000, and they command very, very good, strong premiums and are always in good dealer demand. But just with these kinds of things, I do not see these going down in the long term, and I actually see, as more collectors come to the market, that these kind of things will increase in value. And as much as you want to think that there is an attrition for these kinds of things, there is small amounts of attrition. Things get lost, stolen, destroyed, broken out of their holders. So it's very, very slow attrition compared to some other things. But I do think that the longer time passes, is that the more higher demand, that better key date coins will stay in demand. The next one is a little more potentially attainable. Is we're looking at CAC sticker coins. So I am seeing enormous premiums on the, I'll say, the national level. I try to do three or four national shows a year, and basically, here in Minnesota, these trade for basically retail, but in the national level, where basically there's the people looking for certain things that have all the money, and they're paying 50% or 100% over retail for what I can reasonably charge here in Minnesota, but they have way higher clientele, or the coins are going to the highest tier of collector. So, if you're purchasing CAC stickered coins, I would recommend holding on to them. I like to keep them and retain them in my collection just because, again, I do not see them going down in value. There are certain things that are, as time passes, there will be more coins added to the pool. I'm talking common date dollars, certain unpopular coinage, basically, or not unpopular, but there's just a lot out of there. You're talking like a 81S Morgan in 64. I'm sure there's quite a few population for those that are stickered, and I don't see those going up anytime soon, just because the more that people submit, there will be just the market will be saturated, and we'll probably see a plateau on things like that. The next thing that I would recommend for a long-term collection for appreciation is older holders. So I'm talking Rattlers, Fatties, and David Halls. And even tougher than that, we have white labels, we have doily coins, so the prefix on this is 815. 108 is the first generation Rattler, so those command massive premiums, as well as Black Core NGC original generation 1 with the white label. I mean, these coins are, those specific ones, doilies, 108s, and white labels, things like that. Those are, if the coin is $100, you're talking like 5-10 grand, like for the holder. So you're paying for the holder. But realistically, this stuff I used to be able to purchase. Probably I would go to our big show and purchase probably between 40 and 60 of these kinds of holders about 10 years ago. And they have totally been dried up for what can be reasonably sourced at a good price. You know, David Hall is the precursor to PCGS, and they just, you know, there's a lot of the same information, a lot of the same style, but with these, even more so than any other holders, is there's attrition. So, you know, I have seen a lot of dealers, you know, cut these coins out, you know, cut this gorgeous proof shield nickel out of the holder and submit it to PCGS because they want to get it in a higher grade holder. And, you know, this coin is probably about $800 normally, and there is a massive about $400 some odd premium just because the holders, there's not many left. I mean, the last big show that I went to, I only saw like 5 or 6 of them, and I bought 4 at a reasonable price. And this is the last one that I have, and if it doesn't sell at some point, I will just move it into my collection because, again, this is not something that is going to really go down in value any long term. Another thing is these rattlers, very, very popular. Some of them can be still really affordably had. And, you know, 125, again, all the stuff that you guys see here for sale through the website. But, you know, rattlers, you know, I would be able to buy 40 of them in a weekend over a 3-day show, and now I'm pressed to buy 1 or 2. And, you know, they're out there, but they're just crazy priced. So it's either you have to pay up for them or, you know, just really, really dig to find ones that are worth spending the money for them. So we got the old holders there, and then the last one is popular varieties. So I'm not talking like obscure RPMs or misplaced dates or things like that. I'm saying like true iconic varieties. So I mean, the big 3 that I have here on my list is the 1941/2, P&D for the dime, the 1955 double die obverse for the 1 cent, and then the 3-legged buffalo. So things like that, you know, are iconic. Even people that don't collect coins know what these are. You know, this one is details grade. That's why it is so inexpensive, $1,100. You know, something like this in AU would probably be $1,500 or $1,600. So it is just, you know, it is a tough coin to find, and I can also not see these specific iconic varieties going down in value long term. So that is just kind of my thoughts. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what I do for my collection. You know, the top 5 things, again, are the pre-33 gold, some key date coins, true key dates, your CAC approval coins, your older holders, and your popular varieties. So those are my thoughts on the matter. We will wrap this portion up and we will get into the giveaway. All right, everybody, so let's get into that giveaway. For today, I've got a couple of copper rounds and a lucky penny for the winner. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to be entered into the giveaways on each of the videos. We are like 2 people away from 1,500 subscribers, so thank you guys very much for that. Remember, you can check out the coins for sale on the website. Follow me on Instagram, eBay, as well as the wholesale mailing list. All the products here are available for sale through the website. Lots of good stuff left. You guys kind of cleared out from the last episode, so I will need to work on getting some new stuff for you guys. Lots of things up on eBay still. Auctions start and end at 8 p.m. on Fridays, so make sure to check that out. If you guys like what you see, let me know what you guys want to purchase, and I will be able to take care of you guys from there. Again, follow me on Instagram as well for some behind the scenes things, and we will get into the giveaway. 51 comments, thank you guys. All right, Caveman, you are the winner. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.